So once again, we have arrived at the fun part, launchers and combos. This character seems to do a pretty good job here. He's got really strong wall carry. He gets good damage off the combos themselves. He gets good wall damage when he can get there, as well as a lot of like interesting reset situations because of his stance and the throw that's in it. So this is a character that heaps that damage up on you via combos and via reset situations by just making you guess poorly again. One bad guess at the wall and he's smacked you again and you're in trouble. Catches the counter hit, catches a low, whatever it is. So when this character gets a hold of you, it's going to hurt. His launchers are the following. The intimidation stance, down forward 2. That big, huge sky launcher lets you get a little bit extra in there.
Not cool.
That for a bit more of a combo. But not very safe on block. You really need to be sure about that. Because anytime you lead into this stance, they can jab you out of that. That's not one of the options that's unbeatable. So you really, really need to have them convinced to start ducking. You know, use this throw, make them duck, and then you can catch them with the mid. Other than that, if they're going to pit bull you, down forward 2 is going to lose. So that's a very situational kind of move, but it does lead you to the biggest combo. Outside of the stance, his down forward 2, a little more on the practical side. Basic 15 frame mid launcher. Nothing remarkable to speak of there. It can go into the stance, but you really don't want it to on hit. And on block, you still get punished anyway, so this is kind of a novelty. But that's his generic launcher at 15. Up back 2, we talked about this backstep move. Not a good launcher, really, really risky. I would just kind of ignore it. Forward 1+2 is just better. It armors to get you out of trouble. Basic combo, it's easy to do. Bad on block, but a lot of things are. While standing 2, same deal. Basic 15 frame launcher, really bad on block. But it is what it is. You have to go with what you were given, and this character deals out high damage, so you taking some punishes isn't that big a deal. Sidestep 2s are high. Those are safe, and they are natural launchers. Just a bit of a goofy combo due to the axis shift that's involved. And his Rage Drive, which we'll cover later at the end, those are launchers. He's got 3 different versions of it. One that spikes, one that flips you in the air, and one that wall bounces. So we'll get that when we get to the Rage section, but those are also launchers as well. And the other one worth mentioning is 1, 2, 2. That third hit is a natural launcher. Doesn't matter if they press buttons. It's up to you to just throw out those strings, you know, little by little, pokey pokey, and then when they press a button at the wrong time, they get launched there. So it's worth noting. You're not going to get it a lot, but it does exist. Counter hit launchers, on the other hand, you will find yourself getting pretty frequently. You want to fish for these because there's a pretty solid list of them. The down back 1+2 that we mentioned is good. It's not the fastest move, but it is safe. It's homing. It works well. Counter hit. You get a nice crumple stun. And even though you end up off axis there, the same combo works. It just happens to be just the right angle. So down back 1+2 is a great move to get counter hits off you. So is back 4. This Devil Jin Shaheen kick works pretty well. I had to do a bit of a makeshift combo there, but it also works. Up forward 4, we talked about this downtown ass knee that he has. Lunges 15 feet at you. You catch that on counter hit, just go right into the combo you're already doing. Easy as can possibly be. The axis doesn't make too much of a difference there. Unless you happen to be super off axis in the first place and you just made it worse. Counter hit on his forward 1+2. We talked about that. Knocks down on natural hit. Wall splats. Counter hit. You guessed it. Same ass combo. Really easy to do. Some of the other ones we mentioned are the automatic screw attacks. Like if you press a button at the wrong time here, you get that one. And same with back 1, 2. Those will launch you when they press the button in between that string and get counter hit. So that's pretty much it for his array of launchers. There's some good range in there. A lot of them are risky. A lot of them are not. So you really have to be a smart situational player for this character. But if you're punishing correctly and you're keeping them on your toes, you get a clean sidestep, boom, there's a combo. You know, you backdash out of the way, boom, there's a combo. There are plenty of situations for you to get these combos as long as you're smart about doing it, especially the counter hit ones. The counter hit ones are pretty good. How often do you see Devil Jin get that back 4 and catch that counter hit? Short answer, a lot. So if you can mess with their timing, especially at range, we talked about his forward moves and how good they are. relatively quick, and even though this one is on the slower side, it's good for messing with that timing. If they want to try to jab you out of whatever you're doing and they miss a little bit, you can catch them with counter hits. So once you feel comfortable with the character and how aggressive you need to be, all of the pieces will sort of fit all on their own. It'll start to make more sense. It's just not a super well-rounded character without a ton of options. You have to figure out what the moves he were given were designed to do. And once you do, it makes pretty good sense. So let's take a look at the actual combos you will get from most of these. And this is very easy, in my opinion. There's only so many pieces you have to worry about. There's very few selective combos. For the most part, every launcher you get, whether it's this one, the armor move, this counter hit, even though there's some are crumple stuns like this and some are launchers, it still works. The basic combo you're going to do is an up forward 4, down forward 4-2, and hold it to go into stance. And then once you're in stance, you can either do 1-2 or 1+2. They're both screw attacks. The only difference is your wall carry and how many hits that you need. So the combo would look like this. Up forward 4, down forward 2 and hold it, 1-2. I missed it. It's kind of hard to say it and do it at the same time. The game is faster than I can talk. Something like that. So what the difference is, if you go for the intimidation 1+2, the single hit screw attack, you could probably squeeze in another jumping knee before ending the combo. If you don't, they're going to be a little bit further away. You have to do something like that to cover a little bit more distance. But it depends on what you're comfortable with and what you exactly need at the time. Once you get good at judging your distance to the wall, you want the single hit screw attack. You want intimidation 1+2, then dash up with a jumping knee, because that jumping knee adds more damage. And then the 2 hit screw attack adds a little more scaling, and so you get less damage overall. So that's the one that you want to do. So remember that pattern. Up forward 4, down forward 4-2, and hold it. 2 intimidation stance, and then 1+2 or 1-2 situationally. You're going to see that a lot, including the counter hit from up forward 4 by itself. Just do the next string of the combo, and that's all you need. Go right into the down forward 4-2 into stance. Some of the other choices, if you do the big launcher out of intimidate down forward 2, you can do that. You can do an up forward 2, then an up forward 4, and continue the combo as normal. You squeeze an extra hit in the front, so you should probably take that out and stick with the single hit screw attack. But that's basically it. That's the combo you're going to use off of almost everything. We mentioned a couple of other ones earlier, like the counter hit back 4. Notice that doesn't work.
My goodness.
His down forward 1 isn't actually like a very good gut punch at all. But what is back 1. So you see right there, back 1 works pretty well. Man, DOA's been downloading forever, jeez. Back 1 actually looks like it could be a down forward 1. It has that lower to the ground hitbox. So your counter hit, back 4, you do back 1-2, and the same combo from your back step. You dash in and do back 1-2. Those are kind of selective. You're going to have to, for back 4, that's the one you're going to use a lot. You just got to recognize you caught the counter hit and just go to this instead of the B&B combo. But by and large, you're going to use that for almost everything else. Let me just go through the list here and make sure which ones you can and can't. Both down forward 2s, the forward 1+2, while standing 2, sidestep 2, the bounce off of this, the counter hit stun off of that, the counter hit off of this, all of them. They all work off the basic B&B combo. So let's just go that one more time. The combo is up forward 4, down forward 4-2, and hold it. When you're in intimidation stance, you do 1+2 or 1 then 2 for your screw attack. That's it. And you can even hold it. You do the down forward 4-2, and since you're holding 2 to go into the stance, right? You continue holding it, and you can just mash out 1. So as soon as it's ready, he'll go right into the 1+2 swing. You don't even have to time that. I think that's the preferred method because you can squeeze a little bit more damage out of that. So remember that combo, because that's pretty much all you're going to need in most situations. He has a couple of other like mini combos, just, you know, guaranteed knockdown type of stuff. You know, you get
My goodness.
like the face first knockdown off of that, back four, stuff like that. I wouldn't call them combos. You'll notice when they are. Whenever you get certain knockdowns, you'll just get one free little follow-up like that. Mini combos like that you can learn. But as far as conventional launchers, that's pretty much it. That one B&B works for almost everything, and just one fallback option, this back 1-2, covers all the rest of your bases. As far as ending combos goes, if you conserve that hit on your screw attack, you can dash up and do another up forward 4, and then forward 3-2 is probably your best. This does nice damage and has that wall carry. But if you can only do all 3 hits if you conserved one earlier. If you did the 2-hit screw attack, if you did this, you just run up and forward 3-2. You don't have time for that extra knee. And if you squeeze an extra hit in and you still have that distance, forward 3-2 works pretty well the same way. He takes a nice step with that kick. It's got the range, but you really have to time it well. Those are pretty much all that I've ever really used. The only issue is if you're at just the wrong distance to the wall, when you do this, your recovery is not great and it's hard for you to get in there and finish it correctly. But most of the time, you'll get used to it. You could do things like this. And just down forward 1-1 and get to the wall quicker, because that way you're going to recover much faster. You can run in and meet them at the wall instead of having to just squeak it out. He doesn't have a ton of good options for that wall carry right there. Back 1-2 sort of works, but most things he has tend to break floors. They're downward hits. He's got a lot of downward hit type attacks, and these moves are highs are not going to work well. Like, I'm almost guaranteed that's not going to fit. See, it goes over them. So you're kind of stuck with your forward 3-2 as your go-to ender. Forward 3-2 works if you're really far away, and a lunging knee into forward 3-2 works if you conserved a hit. But that's it. That's pretty much all you're going to do. The wall carry there is really strong. If you know you got it, pad that extra hit in, go for the long distance follow-up, and get the wall damage there. As far as the wall combos go, you're going to find a lot of options here as the game progresses, but there's a couple of cool things we know right away. I'm going to just reset it to wall here to make things simpler. I'm just going to use forward 3-2 as the wall splat. So the first thing that you notice is jab stomp. So when that stomp connects, it does that second hit automatically, unscaled damage. That was pretty good damage, and it causes that flip over knockdown. Again, jab, stomp. Slight little delay. The Oki there is really good because it flips them upside down and you're recovered. So you have all day to set up whatever it is you want to do next. That's a really good option. Shut up, phone. Not the max damage option. The max damage I'm seeing right now is a down forward 3-1 shank. So look like this. 63. But minimal Oki off of that. They're going to stand right up. Shut up, phone. That's the best damage I've seen so far overall, but I feel like you want to trade that damage in for better options. You want to go for that flip over knockdown, like the jab stomp gets you. And wake them up with one of these or something like that. Some of your other choices to get that flip over knockdown, you can do down forward 3-1-2. Instead of doing the shank, just do that third hit. Back 2-2, that breaks the ground. And so does this guy. This is basic back 1-2. Just bam, right in their head. Gives that flip over knockdown, and then you get the Oki from that. So that's really been the name of the game in Tekken 7 so far, is the wall combo that ends with that head first flip over knockdown if they have to tech roll correctly. And if they don't, you can go for this, which will hit them grounded. If they stand up, you get your +4 frames off of it, whatever it might be. So pure damage is down forward 3-1 shank. Best Oki, in my opinion, is the jab stomp. You gotta delay it a little bit, but not too much. They will be able to tech roll. If you do it too quickly, they won't be on the ground yet. Just a bit of a delay, and there you go. You're already acting when, look at that. That was my down forward 1, hit him in the back, because he didn't tech roll. So that's the best one, I think, in my opinion. Your only other option is if you want to break the wall or break the floor. You got plenty of stuff to do that. Let's take a quick look at moves that will wall splat. not conventional launchers, but since you're right here, getting to the wall is the name of the game. Once you do get them into the wall and you wake them up with that, tech roll knockdown, you want to resplat them again. So a quick list of the moves that do so. 1+2, that 13 frame move. Bang, bang. Forward 3-2, the one I've been using. Hit confirmable, very easy to do. Your armored launcher lifts them up in the air. Your down forward 2 lifts them up in the air. Down forward 3-1-4. Not a natural combo, but that hit will wall splat in situations. Down back 1+2 on natural hit does it. Back 1+2 does it. Again, remember this is +4. You want to use this all day. This breaks the floor, hits grounded, and wall splats. Can't get enough of that move. Back 1-2 also works. Back 2-3. The Brian up forward 3 kick wall splats. Forward 2. Forward 3-2. Forward 1+2. Forward 4 wall bounces. While standing 3-2 is the same as forward 3-2, so naturally that does it. And intimidation stance throw. Wall splats. So that's a really, really good list of moves that wall splat. A lot of those are safe. A lot of those are plus. A lot of those are hit confirmable. That's what you want. You want them at the wall where you've just heaped 85 damage on them, and now you put them in that head first flip over knockdown that they're panicking to tech roll that correctly. They stand up right into your mix up. Smack them with this thing, and then throw them into the wall splat. Flip them over again, do this thing. If they stand up low, they get smacked in the head and wall splat again. If they block it, +4. That's the name of the game here, is the massive combo damage to the wall, to which he's really good at carrying. He's got really good wall carry. And then he wakes you up at the wall with just a absurdly threatening arsenal of moves. The only problem is there's very little homing. This down back 1+2 is about the only thing he's got to keep you from sidestepping. So other than that, there's dangerous stuff at the wall. I think your best bet against Negan is to try to sidewalk out of there, but he's going to be right on top of your ass with stuff like that. Is going to make it really hard. You're going to have to make some reads, and if you make bad reads, it's night time.